I have to ask a
Full
reminding
house.
me what to do here. Oh, there.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our evening. We've got something really incredible planned for you. I hope you're up for it. I'm going to read a few words. My name is Teresa Vandertuin, and it's an honor to welcome you to the closing Saturday night of the 21st Annual Downtown Eastside Heart of the City Festival, and to this tribute for Jay Hamburger, poet, radio host, political activist, teacher, and theater director. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to live, work, and play on the unceded homelands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people. We live in a beautiful place, and we can work together to protect it. Yep. Jacques Lalonde and I have put together an incredible evening for you with the help of over 50 actors, musicians, composers, singers, and fellow players. Jay touched our lives in a big or even just a small way, and I am moved by how many people offered their time, love, and energy to create this cabaret for you. And they're all standing by, so I only have a little bit of time to say a few words about Jay. Upon Jay's passing, I reflected on the many threads of our lives and that were intertwined. My professional life as a theater artist, Jay gave me so many opportunities to practice my craft. As a friend, Jay and Addie were there when we needed help. And he was a huge fan and supporter of my sweetheart, Yvon, who sends his love. Many, many years ago, I took part in a fashion show with Dan Vai and Vern Clare, who put together a fashion show in their studio in Strathcona. I stitched together an outfit made of flat styrofoam meat trays and fashion for the recycler, you know. I had a bustier made out of those trays that looked like a shield of armor, and a skirt that flipped and flopped when you walked, and it accompanied by the squeaky sound of styrofoam. Well, somehow Jay and Dan, they made an opportunity to present that fashion show during one of the one-acts at La Cana, and that's where I met Jay. He always reminded me about that dress and how wonderful he thought it was. He encouraged me to continue with my creative and theatrical work, and he was so enthusiastic and full of praise. And in 2005, when I began work with the Downtown Eastside Heart of the City Festival, Jay was already here. He worked with Savage God on I Love the Downtown Eastside and with Vancouver Moving Theatre as acting coach with the community play In the Heart of a City. He had a spot with Jerry Kawalinko on Arts Rational at Co-op Radio, where he brought theatre to the radio airwaves. He started the Carnegie Theatre Workshops and presented a number of plays and readings at the festival, including the amazing Bruce the Musical and the Raymer Mothers, working with Bob Sardi, Earle Peach, and Bill Sample. I knew that every year we would cook up something wonderful for the festival, and we couldn't let this year's festival go by without Jay. So this is a tribute to Jay's work with the festival, Co-op Radio, and Theatre in the Raw. Thank you. I now would like to introduce Stephen Litton, who's going to come to the mic here. And Stephen is from the Lytton First Nation, and he wants to share a few words about Jay and a poem. So Stephen, you could step to the mic here.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this opportunity in thanking you for being here today. Attitude is the paintbrush that colors your world, and that's what I appreciate Jay was about. Attitude. He had the right attitude. He was a role model to many. And I first met Jay during the Downtown Eastside Heart of the City community play. He was a role model. He was a mentor. He guided us to be the best that we could be, and that's why I'm here. And I really appreciate his leadership, his guidance. He paved the path for so many And he also was there for people who never got the opportunity or the chance to be the best they can be. And word work for many was in art, was in theater. And he was their champion. He was our champion. He was my champion. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say, first of all, I want to, as I believe Jay has always honored the women in his life and the women that he worked with. So I want to take this opportunity and share with the women of the four corners of the globe. You are the heartbeat of our nation. Without you, nothing else matters. And the heartbeat continues through you, as I'm really honored that Jay valued his friendships, valued those around him, and he learned as he gave. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Teresa told me to be short, so here I am. I'm short in so many ways, so I'm gonna keep it raw, but I'm gonna keep it short. So I would ask, I'll take a moment and let's think about Jay, and then I will shed light on a poem. And please close your eyes and embark on this journey with me, our ancestor Jay, and what he's meant to each and every one of us. Behold your beauty, Jay. Your beauty shines as we walk the path together. In silence we go. You've led me. You've led us. You walked alongside. You followed our every move. In your presence, we were under your spell. You've touched our very souls. You've caused us to fear you, but all we wanted to do was dance with you. Many a time we were chilled by you. Humanity has experienced you in so many ways. Love and many a war and friendships were at your hand. Thank you, Jay, for being in our lives. And I would also like to say, each time we lose someone, we lose a little bit of ourselves. But with him in our memory, in our minds, in our souls, he'll always be with us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Vandertuin Museum. Please give it up for your co-hosts tonight, Jacques Lalonde and Kieran Sequoia. Is it my version?
I don't know if my mic's up.
Oh yeah.
Everyone wanted that be louder.
Yeah. When it's green. When green means go.
It's green. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Green, go.
Go.
Go. Go. Go. Go. Go. Go. Go. So Jay would tell each and every one of you that is here tonight that you're amazing. Right? What else might he say? What could he say?
Oh, I mean, you just be incredibly supportive of everyone.
You're brilliant.
Really, I don't think you would mind that.
Wow.
I'm gonna go like 5 minutes.
Sorry. I couldn't stop myself there. So we're here tonight to celebrate Theater in the Raw. Right? Give it up for Theater in the Raw. Of course, Addie's such a huge part, Sylvan's such a huge part. It wasn't just Jay.
No.
Right? As we heard earlier, it was a huge bunch of people doing some amazing stuff. A few little quick things. We've been here all week, last 3 days, feels like a week, rehearsing for this show tonight. And people have been sharing stories. We've been getting in circles and sharing stories. And one person said that she found it amazing that when Jay goes to a restaurant, he never uses a napkin. He always has this gigantic handkerchief with him, right? So he doesn't want to waste paper because he loves trees so much. And so I think part of the theme for me tonight is sharing with everyone that I've decided to be like Jay, right? If ever I'm wondering what I should do, if I have a choice to make in my life, I'm just going to say, what would Jay do?
What would Jay do?
What would Jay do?
You don't have to change your bracelet.
I don't have to change my bracelet.
What would Jay do?
What would Jay do? Right? So everyone, let's all try to be a little bit more like Jay. What do we think? Yeah? Yeah. And then it was interesting because you found out that we were doing this cabaret.
I did.
So you reached out to me and said, can I be part of it? And I said, sure.
The delight of my decade, surely. To be
Why don't you co-host?
Me?
Yeah.
I think that would be a great show.
Great idea. So she flew all the way from Santa Fe, New Mexico to host tonight. Right? Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Do you want to share anything else? Yeah.
I think just let's all be more like Jay. Let's support one another. Let's make sure that we're being good friends.
Yeah.
Especially in this world, you know. Go out of your way. Be like Jay.
Exactly. So it's a fundraiser for Co-op Radio. So as Jim said, there's a bunch of merch back there. You can go, you can buy the merch. You can also become a member if you're not a member yet, because Co-op Radio was very important to Jay. He did Arts Rational for many, many years. Then he did the Raw Diaries. As mentioned, there were tons of plays read on Co-op Radio. So please, please feel free to support. Buy lots of booze. And you can support the Heart of the City Festival by going online. You've got today and tomorrow. There's a 50-50 draw. So when these people were telling these stories in the circles, one of the recurring themes was people were saying, I wish I had a dad like Jay. Right?
Yep.
And oh boy, do I ever wish my dad was more like Jay Hamburger. And so our next guest, interestingly enough, wished so hard that his dad would be like Jay Hamburger, that his dad was, is, and forever will be Jay Hamburger.
That's right. Sylvan is also an incredible artist in his own right, creating works that he often invites the public to participate in, printmaking, large-scale installation art. And Sylvan and I went to the same elementary school, actually, Tyee Elementary. Give it up for Tyee. And Scott as well. So, without further ado,
Doing a couple of Jay's original poems.
who better?
Yeah.
Mr. Sylvan Hamburger.
Can everyone hear me? It's wild how that works, eh? You just have to wish it, and then it happens. Been asked to read a few of my father's poems, and I think I'm coming up twice, so I'm going to read two now, two later. I thought I would start with two poems from 1983, and it's a time where my father was kind of traveling around the US. He was born in New York City, and he was spending a lot of time in Boulder, Colorado, and he was studying poetry at Naropa. So he was kind of rubbing shoulders with people like Allen Ginsberg and people like that, and Gary Schneider. So you could have a whole poetry reading of the people that he was kind of looking up to at that time. So you might hear a bit of the kind of beat poet thing going on in some of these poems. So the first poem, Leaves. 4 Ohio leaves, a fall or a staying on their twigs. Simple. A leaf. One fallen along Chagrin River ways, Ohio green, veined, sycamore large. Too soon, I thought, it rests upon the path. 2. A light green July maple leaf, among leaves, hay married for summer. Partners abound, and when the wind rustles, such a sound. 3 to thee, them, I pondered, while among rounded beech leaves, seeing one, then another's, this is an outgrowth, outcome, sun, rain, thanks, combination, sharing, seasonal gifts. 4, for a shag bark hickory leaf, mingling within a space, other leaves, touching, sun raying over the branches. Hey you, leaves upon trees, so many, many above, yet none I sees, except in sight, but look up I do, through tall wood might, those trunks hold true.
Yeah.
The second I'll read, these were both written in the summer of 1983, like I said. This one was actually written in Ohio. It's called Crow. Crow, you would know these woods. Crow, in flock, black and big, calling, screaming near where I sleep. Morning breaks out of darkness. Crow, you would know, and your squawk, cry, caw, high in the sycamores, maples, your soar, flight soar, black, large wings spread against green and sky. Crow, you would know this life. See you shortly.
Let's go. We can't. Why not? We're waiting for Godot. Oh.
Kempton Dexter wrote this song that featured Yvonne Chartrand, our own Teresa Vandertuin, and Jacques Lalonde in a play directed by Denise Golomblaski called Man, Woman, Buddy, which featured this next song, and a dream sequence which featured 18-inch phalli, penises. This is Jacques and Jacques, two Jacques, doing kiss ass.
So I just want to be clear, they were made of wood. They were giant wooden, and a lot of people may not know that, but because the show was a comedy, it was like a reference to the Greek comedy, where if it was a comedy, everyone had anyways, enough about that. So this song is called Kiss. How big hand for Jacques Garrett? This is actually, we rehearsed it in the basement earlier, and this is going to be our second time doing it together, so it's raw. It really is raw. But there's a part later where I'm going to say, they call you honey if you kiss ass, and it's kind of a dream of mine to hear 200 downtown East Side audience members saying, if you kiss ass, right? So when I say, they call you honey,
They kiss us.
that was so easy. Woo, give it up for yourselves. You'll know when it's coming. I'll probably do it like 3 times myself, and then I'll make it obvious that it's your turn. Okay? Sounds good? We're ready?
Let it rip. Keep it raw.
Keep it raw! By the way, Captain Dexter also wrote this play, not just this song. You got no power if you got no money. You got no power if you got no cash. A landlord, boss man, they got the power. They got the power just to treat you like trash. Locks in the door, keys in the pocket. Who signs a vote for the welfare line? Landlady does, and she's gonna lock it. She's gonna lock it down deep in her mind, yeah. Deep in her mind, yeah. Deep in her mind, yeah. You got no power if you got no money. You got no power if you got no cash. Landlord, boss man, they call you honey. They call you honey if you kiss ass. They call you honey if you kiss ass. They call you honey if you kiss ass. Here we go. They call you honey if you kiss ass. They call you honey if you kiss ass. If you kiss ass, if you kiss ass, if you kiss ass, if you kiss ass. I said, they call you honey if you kiss ass. Jacques Lalonde, Jacques Lalonde. Somebody next.
Double.
Mr. Patrick Foley is up next.
Oh.
Patrick is a playwright for theater, co-writing and creating some of Theater in the Raw's original works. He was a regular guest on Jay's co-op radio show, Raw Diaries. And some would say he inspired Jay as much as Jay inspired him. Mr. Patrick Foley.
Kiss us.
Are you ready?
Make it raw.
Okay, this is first one's love song. I don't know if it's got any love in it or what, but I wrote it. Don't you be no chef if you cook the same old stuff. And don't ever be a hoarder who never has enough. Don't be a baseball player who swings but always misses. But you can be my honey if you like hugs and kisses.
That is raw.
That's love.
That's raw.
Hang on. Don't you be a complainer if you can't make the world a better place. And don't you be an astronaut who always gets lost in space. Don't you be a dancer if you can't stand on one toe. No, you just be my only girl who always loves me so. Yeah. Oh. Don't you be no gambler if you somehow lost your luck. And don't you play hockey if you can't shoot the puck.
That's right.
And don't you study no calculus if you don't understand. But you can be my baby and always hold my hand.
Eating it up.
Yeah. There's more. There's more. The guy doesn't know when to quit. Now, don't you be no drinker if you can't handle booze. And don't try to be a detective if you cannot find the clues. Don't you become a clown because whose face is always sad. And I know you ain't no gangster, because I know you can't be bad. Oh, don't you be no watchmaker who cannot hear the tick. And don't you own a dog if you can't throw the stick. Don't try to be a mechanic if you cannot make the engine start. And don't you ever leave me, because then you'll break my heart. Yeah. And don't you be no angler if you cannot catch a fish. And don't you be nobody who never made a wish. Don't you be an artist who has somehow lost her touch. Just you always love me. Much, and much, and much. That's the end of that one. The Clutterbug Blues. The Clutterbug Blues. I got too much stuff. I said I got too much stuff. And the trouble is, boy, I don't know when I got enough. I got stuff in the closet, it's jammed up tight. And when I open the door, I get quite afraid. I got stuff in the kitchen. I can't even cook. And stuff in the bedroom. Please, you don't want to look. No. And I got stuff in the living room. I can't even move. I guess you could say that I sort of lost my groove. And I got stuff on the attic all covered with dust, stuff in the basement red with rust, stuff in the garage. Can't park the car. Yeah, it's stuff, wherever you are. And it's all in a jumble and I don't know what all. It's pretty bad, and I don't know who to call. I got all this stuff that's coming out my ears, and just the other day it brought me to tears. So I went to the doctor and I told him the score. He just shook his head and he says, "Tell me no more." He looked at my eyes and he looked in my ear. He said, "Oh yeah, it's just what I feared." He wrote a prescription and told me the bad news. He says, "Boy, you got what they call the Clutterbug Blues." That's it.
That's it.
Give it up, give it up, give it up for Patrick Foley! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I like that much. And that was some good stuff. This is my new thing. I'm just gonna make poems like Patrick Foley. That's my new thing. I'm just gonna mimic your amazingness. I can see why Jay worked with this man, right? Oh yeah. So this is a little funny thing. I'm guessing by your second poem that you've seen my car. Because my car looks like that poem. And I'm not even joking. So I guess I must have hit my stopwatch a few days ago, because it now says 71 hours, 15 minutes, and 48 seconds. So I'm gonna stop that. And yeah, I'm gonna start it over. No, not resume, reset. There we go. because I'm going to be helping out our next friend. This next act, we having a good time so far? It's pretty good, right? Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. A little bit of waiting for Godot. A little waiting for Godot. We wonder who's going to show up. This is the kind of night he might show up. So our next performer was, like many of you probably, one of Jay's favorite actors and people. He was in a couple plays that I was in. He was in an incident at Vichy, and he was in Enter Laughing. He was also in a whole bunch of one-acts. And basically, this is the kind of guy that if you need someone to have your back, you call Ralston, because this guy is there. He's so there. Right now, he's got a thing called They're All Productions, which is doing stand-up comedy nights in New West, in Burnaby, soon to be in Vancouver, and after that, pretty much guaranteed taking over the world. Please put your hands together for the raw comedy stylings of Mr. Ralston Harris.
Test. One time for your hosts, everybody. Jacques Lalonde, Kieran Sequoia. Another time for you guys for coming out. One time for me. That's my time. Thank you so much. Yes, like Jacques said, I am an actor. This is true. I was recently cast as a murderer. So if I kill it tonight, we're having some fun, right? Yeah. Yeah, I said that joke in Surrey. I took a stab at that joke in Surrey. Yeah, got a bigger pop. I was also cast as a terrorist in a Bollywood film. Yeah, so if I bomb up here, I'm just still in character. I said that joke in Surrey too. Someone yelled out, "How does a black guy get a role in a Bollywood film?" That wasn't the funny part. But you know what I told them? Is I steal it. Yeah. My ode to the Heart of the City Festival, I've actually had 2 heart surgeries. Yeah. And I had a boner during both of them. Yeah, the first one, too long to talk about. Yeah, the second one is just too hard. Yeah, it's too much trauma there, you know? Put the D in PTSD. Yeah. A little bit more about me. I actually found out that I had an irregular heartbeat during sex. Yeah. Me and my girlfriend were role playing. I was the cop and she was the black guy. Yeah. And so there I was on top of her, not her neck. I'm the bad guy. Yeah, so I was on top of her, right? Pumping. Harder. Faster. Not me, my heart. Yeah, that's when I'm like, all right, I need to switch this up maybe, you know? Take a break, maybe go down and, you know, eat her out a little bit, you know what I mean? Just switch it up, right? Keep it raw. Keep it raw. Yeah. I went down all right, though. The only thing I ate, though, was the corner of her bed. Yeah. We were making out, and then I passed out. What started as foreplay ended real quick with 0 play. Yeah. What started as a booty call ended with a call to 911. Feel tight up here. There we go. Dance around. This is my stage, right? You looking good. Yeah, feel good too. Yeah. A little bit more about me too. My parents. My dad is from Jamaica and my mom is from Quebec. Shout out Jacques Lalonde. So part of me wants to separate from Canada. And the other half of me wants to separate from a white fat chick. Yeah. Speaking of my parents, they actually told me that I shouldn't get into stand-up comedy. Well, first thing is I'm dyslexic. So they always said you might have a problem reading the room. Mom, Dad, are you here tonight? No. Yeah. Another thing about me, let me just check my notes here. I'm a crack daddy. Oh, sorry, that's the dyslexia again. I'm a crack baby, sorry. Yeah. But you know what? I'm 36 years sober. Yeah. And you know what else? My childhood, it still rocked. That cracked you up, yeah. All right, I got about one more minute here. I thought I'd give you guys a taste of something new. How about that? You guys want to hear something new? Yeah. All right, well, they say when you're about to have a stroke, you smell burnt toast. But what if you smell fresh bread? Does that mean like I have a yeast infection? Keeping it raw, folks, keeping it raw. All right, and last but not least, I just want to give a quick big shout out to, is Fawn here? Can Fawn stand up real quick? She's the best dressed tonight. Fawn, I love you so much. If anybody sees a pretty young lady wearing a nice pink vest, that's Fawn, and I'm quite fond of Fawn. But no, we're gonna have a great night full of amazing performers, poets, musicians. You might just see my face again. Thanks for your time, guys. Have an excellent, wonderful night. Love you guys. To Jay Hamburger.
Give a I just ate out the corner of the bed. Raw applause for Ralston Harris. All right. Our next band is Songtree. This is Earle, Peach, and Barbara Jackson, two musicians who have long been active in the Vancouver music community. They met at a coffee house that Barbara was hosting in 1978, and several years later, you know where this is going. They became a duo in both life and music. Songtree performs at coffee houses, house concerts, protests, community festivals, special events, fundraisers, including for Theater in the Raw, which I was actually seeing. Songtree was actually performing at La Cana back in the day, but that's not even on the notes. I'm just making that stuff up on the fly. They have both participated in Theater in the Raw plays and are honored to be part of tonight's tribute. Please give it up for the amazing, the incomparable Songtree.
Wow.
Hello.
Hey.
Woo!
Right up here, and there's a lot of you out there.
Yeah.
and thank you, the amazing Jacques, for that lovely introduction.
I wrote it myself.
Yeah.
We're going to sing you a shape-changing song, which is...
Oh. A shift.
Yes. And Barbara's going to tell you about it right now.
Sorry, we practiced this. Yes, so we're going to sing a song called Cunning and Art, which we say very carefully. It's a shape-changing song, and it's from an old tradition. A lot of it is kind of a Celtic tradition, but probably other traditions have that as well. And in the shape-changing songs, one of the people changes into an animal or a form that they assume they can get away, and then what happens is the other person gets changed into something that can catch that person. So, in this case, it's a very dramatic song, so we thought it was appropriate for this dramatic cabaret.
Yes, it's especially dramatic because it was based on testimony from a witch's trial in the 17th century, collected by Robert Graves and published in The White Goddess, which I hope some of you have read. And so in this particular instance, the person trying to escape is the male protagonist, and he is being chased by the goddess, who is, when she catches him, probably going to just consume him. And
Keep it raw.
yes, exactly. And so Graves added 2 verses himself, and I wrote the music.
And just another small piece of information, when we say, but for to fetch thee hame,
That's the goddess is fetching the person back into their own body, heading for home. Thank you.
Cunning and art he did not lack, but I will so fetch him back. Oh, I shall go into a hair with sorrow and sighing and mickle care, and I shall go in the devil's name, aye, till I be fetched here.
I'll take heed of a bitch greyhound, will harry thee all these fells around. For here come I in Our Lady's name, oh, but for to fetch thee in.
King and art he did not lack, but I will so and fetch him back. And I shall go into a trout with sorrow and sighing and mickle doubt, and I shall go in the devil's name, aye, till I be fetched here.
I'll take heed of an otter like, will harry thee close from bank to bank. For here come I in Our Lady's name, oh, but for to fetch thee in.
Cunning and art he did not lack, but I will so and fetch him back. But I shall go into a bee with mickle horror and dread of thee, and flit to hive in the devil's name, aye, till I be fetched here.
He take heed of a swallow hen, will harry thee close both bump and bum. For here come I in Our Lady's name, oh, but for to fetch thee in.
Cunning and art he did not lack, but I will so and fetch him back. Last transformation. Yet I shall go into a mouse and haste me to the miller's house. Therein is corn to have good game, aye, till I be fetched here.
Mouse take heed of a white-tipped cap that never was bought of mouse or rat. For a cat there bounds in Our Lady's name, oh, but for to fetch thee in.
All before to fetch thee here. Cunning and art he did not lack, but I will so and fetch him back.
Good.
Earle, Peach, and Barbara Jackson, that was Songtree. Say, a hot box, a hot box, a hot box, a hot box, a hot box. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for a hot box!
There's some moments when I can barely breathe. I have so much to do. It's hanging this group art show. It's opening in 2 days, and then I'm off to Provincial Supreme Court in Victoria to be sentenced for contempt of court. How to maintain one's work in this gallery and the right to protest the destruction of wildlife. Lucky I can keep working. I have friends who've lost jobs. It's a wild situation. Government and industry against protectors of moss, lichen, salamanders, and the ancient forests. I never thought I'd get arrested. Damn this court case coming up the same day as the opening here. It never hurts, though, to practice what I have to say before the judge. Your Honor. Your Honor? Your Honor. It can be said that there is a war on with environmental battles raging worldwide. Now is the time to come to the aid of one's natural heritage. We must attempt to take matters into our own hands before it's too late and there's nothing left to save. This is not out of anarchy, Your Honor, but out of deep necessity and love for our natural resources. Oh. Who is that? This is well past the hour of the closing hour of the gallery. Hopefully it's not Dr. Oak chewing my ear off because I've gotten myself arrested. Oak, is that you? Hello? Who's there? Hello? Oak? Is that you playing around? Can you hear me? No answer. Perhaps the stranger has moved away. Good. My, oh my, a hard of hearing knocker.
Damn, Sid, damn, man, hang in there, kid. Oh, this is one hot box. I'm like spilling stuff all over the place.
What was that you said?
Hey, lady, whoever, open the door for hoot's sake. Your order's going all over the pavement.
Order? What order?
Oh, come on now, miss. I'm not out here for the exercise.
Exercise? Who the hell are you?
Lady, your pizza.
Stop calling me lady. And my name is Saanich, spelled with double A, and furthermore, I'm not your pizza.
Sorry there, Miss, Saanich. I don't know anything about your life's experiences, but mine tell me when a pizza box cardboard's at bottom reaches a certain point of saturation, its contents want to, fall through the pavement, onto the pavement below.
Environmentally, I wouldn't order a pizza in one of those wasteful cardboard boxes. It's too much paper going to the dump.
Please open up and take this double anchovy, or double artichoke out of my hands.
Cutting down forests so customers can have fully satisfied stomachs is not to my liking.
Excuse me?
What's the planet coming to? I want to know.
Oh no, not one of these overly sensitive environmental customers.
I asked you where you thought this planet was heading.
Where it's heading? Like, you want me to give you a fully unexpurgated, definitive explanation as to where this hurtling mass of earth, wind, and water, with us folks on it, is heading?
Sounds as if you know more than mere delivery of hot pies.
Oh, this is just mere part-time work. I'm taking courses down at the college. Now, for God's sakes, let me deliver this to you, please.
What kind of pizza? I'm a vegetarian, have been one for years. You probably could have guessed that, right?
Possibly, but I've been wrong before. I thought you would have opened the door as soon as you heard your pie was here. Some folks go crazy about their pizza. And this smells pretty good with all the mixed up toppings.
And?
Take the blooming thing, it's yours.
Look, I didn't order a pizza. Honest, Mr. Delivery Man. And had I been hungry, I would have ordered Chinese food instead.
Oh, brother. Listen, have you a counter or something for me to put this on? I believe I reached the point where I would honestly prefer to get the order off my hands before my fingers permanently stick to the box with second-degree burns, no less.
Oh, finger burns. Okay, yes. You might as well put it over here till we straighten this out. This is all quite confusing. Well, hi. Hi.
Hi there. I thought my hand was cooked well done to the bottom of that pie box. Yeah, like pie a la man, s'il vous plaît.
You seemed in such distress.
It's not as easy a job as one would think.
Oh my God.
What? Did something happen? What happened?
Well, you're actually in the door.
I am. You are correct. But what did you expect? Does it come as any great shock that I would attempt to carry out our company's motto? A pizza in, a winker to your Dora. You won't be a border, no more. The name's Sid, and there's a knock at your Dora.
But I don't know a Sida knocking at my Dora.
No, I'm Sid. And there's another knock at your door.
Another knock?
And then another knock.
This is becoming more complicated than a case of non-violent protesters entering the Supreme Court system. And now, who is that?
Well, perhaps you should answer your own door. I believe that it's your door and someone is creating a knock. Coming to answer Miss Saanich's door, so worry no more.
Hi.
Yes, what do you want?
Well, pardon me, but I was wondering if I could have a moment of your time. As a resident of this house, I would like to ask, some important confidential questions that would be a benefit to our country and society.
Come again? Who are you really, if I may be so bold as to ask?
Well, Promise you won't slam the door in my face when I tell you.
Yeah, sure.
A census taker. The first, I might add, to make rounds in this neighborhood for, well, in a few years.
I see. Well, I don't actually live here, but I'll ask the person who does, if she wants to speak with you.
Well, I would appreciate that. Thank you. Of course, now would be best.
Miss Sanich, there's someone at your door who cares to speak with you.
Who is it?
It's a man.
Another one?
I can't help that.
What kind of man?
A census taker kind of man.
A census taker? What kind of census taker like man?
I didn't ask. But how many different kind of census takers can there be? This late in the afternoon, knocking on the door.
Is there a problem, madam? I have a wee space of time left to interview the present resident.
But aren't you demanding?
Oh, no, not really. I'm just rolling along doing my job. I've a questionnaire for you to fill out. I'm with Statistics Canada.
Stats man? At this hour?
Well, I'm sorry about that. But on with the long form. Now, first, what is your legal marital status? Second, list all the persons usually living here since the day before yesterday. Third, is your income from all sources under $10,000 or over?
Hold it, fella. One question at a time?
Fourth, does anyone here operate a farm, ranch, or other outdoor holding? Fifth, are you employed? Sixth, how many children, well, like this fellow, were you born to?
Whoa there, whoa! Dear sir, your job, if I may say so, has gone to your head. Hey, I guess no one is hearing me. There is an environmental art exhibit that has to be put up, and to add, I have a date to stand trial for tree hugging over on the west coast of Vancouver Island. By the way, Mr. Clipboard, you can put that fact down in your record book under women's stands taken for old growth trees.
Interesting new category. Good. I'll mention that to management.
Do either of you know or care anything about trees?
A real live arrested tree hugger.
May I ask you, for the personal record, how long you've been a tree hugger? And are you now, or had you ever been, a member of any tree-hugging organizations?
Sanich, you've been arrested for saving trees. You know, I've always admired that avenue of protest. You'd have never been able to make any sort of stand on a logging road. I figure I might try and do something like join a blockade someday, but when the time is appropriate for me.
Well, no better time than now. What are you waiting for, Sid?
There's another knocker at your door. My Sanich, you are popular this late afternoon. Really, you are.
It sure seems that way today. I wonder what uninvited soul this will be.
Perhaps I may be so bold as to answer the door again.
Ah, the lovely Miss Sanich. How are you today, my lovely fragrant blossom? The lovely treasure. Oh my, looking good, looking. Oh, hello, fellas. Excuse me, my name's Oak. Oak B. Actually, it's Oak B Boat. Pleased to meet you. And you too.
Greetings, Doctor. Greetings.
Greetings. Yes. Sanich, guess what happened to me?
You're pregnant?
No. Oh, she's got a sense of humor, this one, I do say. No. Sanich, my spirit. Remember the other evening you were telling me in great detail about the protests happening there on the west side of Vancouver Island? You mentioned you traveled to a peace camp the protesters had set up, and you managed to stay there a few days. I recall you saying it was a mind-expanding experience, one to help the environment.
Yes, and you wouldn't stop asking me questions about the massive protest to save some old growth trees in a pristine wilderness. So I said, stop cross-examining me, Dr. Oak B, and get over to the island on your boat and go experience it with your own eyes.
There are groups compiling statistics as to what is left wilderness acreage. It occurred to me to join and study.
You know, I'd like to see a bit of real untouched wilderness someday before it's all gone.
Yes, well, I did go to the West Coast, and at 6 a.m. saw the largest arrest of mass protesters of all ages, shapes, and sizes.
I mean, when you use the word mass, exactly how many people coming together make up a mass?
Oh man, he never quits, this guy.
Well, I'm just trying to get you... All right, let me paint you the picture. At first, I was walking along the West Coast beaches, and then I decided to take your advice and visit that piece. Well, I ended up staying the night in my Jag and joined the demonstrators in the early morning as they assembled near the quiet lake. There was chanting and hot coffee by a campfire. Yes, and the sky was getting lighter and lighter. I could hear the police and the protest log demonstrators coming. They were coming to getting together they were coming to take us away for the largest single non-violent mass demonstration and arrest in the history of Canada.
That is tremendous.
Oh, witty! Witty you are!
Well, yes, it brought tears to my eyes as the RCMP started on the long chore of arresting and dragging away the demonstrators who were waiting buses. Non-violent carrying men, women, and children being taken off, arrested, and to jail.
To jail? For sitting in a roadway or tree hugging? I mean, you gotta be kidding.
It happens even in the most civilized countries.
Yes. Suddenly I was overcome with a sweeping emotion. For it was then that I realized the woods were mine too. And I wanted to save it, as it is and has been for my relatives, friends, and myself to experience. I saw birds in flight. I saw the waves breaking, salmon spawning. I could not be moved from that road. My. My roots went far into the earth. Saanich, I was standing on that logging road with the other demonstrators, awaiting to be arrested by the police. You were right. It was amazing.
So you found yourself on the road waiting to be arrested?
Along with 250-odd protesters in the road singing, chanting, and communing. A similar event happened to me. There, up at the police spent the whole day hauling people off if they were arrested, if they arrested the whole lot.
They did. They arrested the whole darn lot. It was really a mind-opening experience. You all should have been there.
I'm making note of this for sure. Imaginative stuff for books, scholars, and future nature lovers.
Yes. Well, there are areas on the globe still worth fighting for. For once touched by machinery, the land will never be the same. It's worth joining the battle, even at the risk of ruining one's career.
Well, sounds as if there's a reason to celebrate.
Well, I think Sid is right.
Celebrate?
This gives pause for celebration. Do all of you want to go out and have a drink or something? I can hold off for half an hour or something before I put the show up.
Go out? Go out where? Why? I mean, look, we can all finish this well-delivered, badly in need of being gobbled up semicolon pizza. Immédiatement, s'il vous plaît.
Well, I've got some wine stored in somewhere in this gallery. Sure, what the hell?
Perfect. I never eat on the job.
Well, you know what, but I bet you could be persuaded to change your mind, even in honor of saving a few trees.
Well, the issue has never really come up before, but, well, I should check the rule book on this.
You know, and I could be swayed to take us down that loggy road after hearing old Oak here, despite the consequences.
I'll drink to those words.
Yes, and to whatever tomorrow and thereafter may bring.
What do you say, Mr. Statscan? Give us a toast.
Well, there are days when the circumstances at hand can be overwhelming. Statistics aside, and don't tell anyone, please, I'll join you for an ever-brief repast.
Here!
Here, here! Here, pass around a slice. Chilled, but pretty good anyway.
Well, it's a day to share a few thoughts.
Yes, a toast to the old trees still standing on the globe.
And here's to the long and ever-present natural breathing souls and spirits.
Here, here, here. Here's to the forest left standing, left breathing.
But right now, for your listening pleasure. Keep it raw, folks. Let's keep it raw, because you've seen her on Night at the Museum. You've seen her on Breaking Bad. She flew all the way from New Mexico, Santa Fe, and of course, you now know her as the Knocker.
The Knocker.
Let's give it up for Kieran Sequoia!
I feel like I should do some sort of like levitating or something. I'm just gonna read. I met Jay when I was 13, and he invited me to participate in medicine and a little tour of one acts. And they called it rehearsal, but I felt like I was in a little envelope of creative love, and that's why I'm here. But it also means that I got to discover the fact that Jay was a poet, an amazing poet, later in life as an adult. So it is my great pleasure to read 10-letter prayer written by Jay in Gold Hill, Colorado in January of 1983. Fate be and fate by, rising in the hills early to find. In this life of charms, whispers, cries, evolving higher, lower. Many contacts and new friends, old friends. Days when coming together, society such sings, rings, begins minutes of healing, takes place. I feel it. Interested includes souls of others too. Parties, people. Please be kind. Please let there be kindness on earth.
Give it up for the dog!
Is this Godot again?
Get forward.
We aren't mic'd, so speak to the crowd.
Okay.
This life by woodpile and sowbugs.
The love, the sun, the neck, the kiss.
The love, the girl, the boy, the rock.
The sea, the owl, the yew branch, the treed mountain.
The moving mist, the moonlight, the night, the bay's water.
The scent, the fur, the sow bugs, the eating.
The wood pile, the cabin, the loft bed, the wood stove.
The cackling, the raven, the yell, the girl.
The listening, the boy, the yell, the words.
The parting, this day, that day, then what?
Oh yes, you know, and you knew, and why, and why, and why.
Oyster Bay, BC, September 1991, October 1992.
Tug, a day. Tug,
Workhorse,
tug,
what a job.
tug,
An original,
tug,
underwater.
tug,
Bye me.
Tug.
Give me strength.
Tug.
Not a beauty.
Tug.
Yet beauty decide.
Tug,
With the know-how.
tug,
With what a motive.
tug,
With the power to pull.
tug,
The working day is yours.
tug,
What a honor,
tug,
parting the river's surface
tug,
with the bow upright,
tug,
proud to be.
tug,
There is a grace.
tug,
The Fraser arm receiving,
tug,
doing the day's work
tug,
with the resilient know-how.
By the Fraser River, BC, October 2018.
Wow.
Another round of applause, everyone. Wow, wonderful poems by Jay. We should just have a night of poems read by Jay. It'd be pretty great. Well, coming up, we have two musical numbers from Bruce the Musical. Our first song will be Hastings Street Rumble with Earle Peach on vocals and, of course, Bill Sample on piano. There will be dancing by Kuei-ming and Zhou.
Yes. And the second song will be The Tipping Point.
Wow.
Enjoy.
Woo!
You know what this song is about, right? It's about the Ottawa Trek, and the people that took over Carnegie and occupied a major portion of the downtown east side prior to departing to try to meet the Prime Minister. They only got as far as Winnipeg. And to avoid being arrested, they would engage in marches down Hastings Street that snaked along. And it was quite a phenomenon. They did that deliberately to avoid being arrested by the cops. So this is the Hastings Street Rumble. I'm marching back and forth on Hastings Street, snaking up down on Hastings Street, staring down the cops on Hastings Street. We gotta be on Hastings Street, gotta be on Hastings Street. We got a cause and it ain't just hay. We want real work and decent pay. We're mad as hell, we won't take it no more. Whoever don't like it, we'll show them the door. On Hastings Street and Hastings Street, snaking back and forth on Hastings Street, marching up and down on Hastings Street. We gotta be on Hastings Street, gotta be on Hastings Street. We really do move. The cops on the sidelines, they don't approve. They can't stop us cause we're losing to lose. They're afraid to act cause we got our groove. Oh, marching up and down Hastings Street, snaking back and forth on Hastings Street, staring down the cops on Hastings Street. We gotta be on Hastings Street. And to hell with the elite on Hastings Street.
The tipping point. It's life's big turn. You're born again. No need to yearn. Well, once you saw it, but could not find. Now all of that is left behind. When things look bad, you're on the floor.
Bill, Samuel, Beverly, Dobrinsky.
Beautiful. Jacques,
Oh my goodness.
did you know that Beverly sang that song in a musical review for Theater in the Raw, and she so enjoyed singing it, as we all did obviously as
Oh my
well,
gosh.
that she asked to sing it again tonight, especially for us.
Boom.
Yes.
And did she keep it raw?
Yeah! Well, we've done it. We've made it through our first act.